Okay, welcome back, everyone. We had a great start to our day, live from our Steubenville program. I went on a tour of the recycling and paper mill, so that was a lot of fun. And we appreciate their time here on PALS TV and giving us great content. And next, we'll be heading over to Heath, Ohio, and it'll be no different, as Gary has been doing some gaming segments with us the past few weeks. Had a lot of fun going through the different platforms and systems and which games would work best for you depending on what your interests are. So love these segments. I know he has a following with them. I see Chris is on here today. This is a perfect segment for Chris. So I'm excited about him joining us and being here live for Gaming with Gary. So heading over to Heath, Ohio next with Gary.
All right. Hello. Thanks, guys. Hey, appreciate you guys coming in and just hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm a huge nerd. I know you guys probably know this if you watch me by now. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, go ahead and throw them in the chat at the bottom. And so I had a couple of requests for Spyro last week. I could not download Spyro, so I apologize for that. I'm actually going to play a game that I've never played before, Call of Duty World War II. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan anymore. I used to be because they were really good, and it just seemed like they kind of put out a bunch of them all at once. But I did want to talk about a couple other things. I don't know if any of you guys have a PlayStation 4 or any other video game systems like that. But one of the things that I really like about the PlayStation 4 is you get to download usually 1 or 2 free games a month if you have the PlayStation membership, the PlayStation Plus. And actually the game that I downloaded was Call of Duty World War II. And my son loves it, but my son loves all of the Call of Duty games. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan on it. So, and I do got to give you fair warning. It's M for mature. There's blood, violence, and all those, strong language, blood and gore, and extreme violence. So, as we go into it, just be aware of it. And if you're not comfortable with it, then, I apologize. I try to find better or E for everyone games moving forward. So, all right. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to turn the screen around. And I know I've talked a lot about different games and how games start out. So looking up here, most games start out like this. And Call of Duty is I believe it's a Ubisoft game, if I'm not mistaken. And then all of these for your margins and whatever, I always try to make them as wide as possible. And then it tells you to make this barely visible, but I try to make it the one on the left where it says not visible, I make it so I can see it. It just makes it look better. So I do love the zombie missions for Call of Duty. But we'll go and do the campaign, kind of see how it is. And, I swear that there was a Call of Duty World War II back on the PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be losing my mind. So I'm going to turn this around, see if there's any questions. Let's see here. All right, so we'll do a campaign for a little bit. And then next week, I will have Spyro on here if you guys want to check it out. But so I usually play on hardened, and so you always have these options where you have recruit, which is the easiest, where basically if you're just trying to get through on the story mode, and then you have regular, which is a little harder than recruit, and then hardened. And veteran seems like they headshot you from no matter where you are. So we're gonna hop into hardened real quick. And I do like John and I was talking about this in the Assassin's Creeds and everything. Like is kind of cool how they do have like a story, a historical story to them. So more so like with Black Ops and stuff like that, it's all futuristic and didn't happen. This actually does have some historical value to it, which I've read a lot of reviews about. Like, I mean, they put something like some ridiculous amount of effort and hours put into just making sure that they had all of the storylines and everything, accurate. And this is cool too because I was in the military, and my grandpa was also in World War II. He was in the Battle of the Bulge. So, and I've never played it, not really sure how this looks or whatever. And then my uncle actually stormed the beaches of Normandy. So, and that's looking like what this is right here. So, man, I know I was talking about how graphics look and stuff. Like, graphics look pretty good, for the CG. It's not really choppy. Looks like the texture is really good. And let me see if I'm not going to turn the volume up, but I'm pretty sure that's Winston Churchill in the back, or Roosevelt in the background. Sorry, I can't tell though. I think the facial expressions and stuff is a good gauge of a game. Also, if you've ever played Last of Us, I mean, you can see people agonizing through it and stuff like that. And that's pretty good, actually. Like, you can see the ripples in the water, the ships. I mean, that's pretty legit right there. But, you also have the two different screens of let's see if they ask any questions. Yeah, I thought it was on the 360, man. I appreciate you putting that. I seem to remember there was a Call of Duty World War II before this one. If there wasn't already a war on, he'd be off trying to start one. I gotta keep all my fingers. I'm gonna take photo of the year. Donald says he's gonna be a photographer for Life magazine. It looks pretty good thus far. As far as the books, you can see it kind of feels like you're on a ship. You kind of see that the ship's moving back and forth. So, and again, most first-person shooters and third-person shooters are basically the same. You have your R1 and R2 as your triggers, and your L1 and L2 are usually either your grenade or switching weapons. So I have no clue how it is, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. My money's on us. So the one thing I do like about the Call of Duty games is they really do bring you into the stories of the people that you're playing. And like I said, I'm not biased against Call of Duty because the first couple ones are really good. Same with Gears of War. Like if you guys ever played that for the Xbox, man, you just you fall in love with the characters, and I won't give spoilers or whatever, but certain people die in it, man, and you're just like, man, I don't know if I can play this anymore. So, and the same thing with Call of Duty. There's a couple people who you play or whatever, and you made that bond where you're playing them, and all of a sudden they're dead, and you're like, what just happened? So I do prefer Call of Duty over Battlefront, though. Here, seeing some connectivity lag. Well, I'll try to leave it where it is. Not move it back and forth. I'll just poke my head around so it doesn't have lag on it. I had been playing a game with my son and a good friend of mine called Borderlands 3. It's really futuristic and it's very cartoony. It's a whole different whole different genre than this. Man, see, like, this does not look as good as it did at first, but it's still okay. Seeing the thing I always like about Blizzard, if you look in the background, you see how the clouds are kind of stagnant. I mean, the waves look good, but like the background, you should see some movement in the clouds and like smoke puffs or whatever. So pretty good. The facial expressions are pretty good.
His pep talk reminded me of one Coach Johnson gave us on our Thanksgiving Day game versus Austin.
Uniforms are accurate. That's something that's always good when they're doing a historic type game.
Always looking over Pearson's shoulder, Lieutenant Turner.
The big red one, you see the one on his helmet. So the big red one is the 1st Infantry unit. I mean, just super, super famous in the Army.
Ever since I could hold a right, I wanted to be like you, Paul. You've always been a tough act to follow.
Just FYI, if I was on that ship, I'd be throwing up. I get seasick so easily. And a few times I was on a Navy ship, they're like, "Oh, you can't feel the waves," and no, I felt the waves and tossed it up.
Hey, I wish I was coming home to her.
Yeah, just wait till we hit Paris.
Seems like a long way off. Remember,
That's pretty good, man.
no digging in at the shore. You gotta advance.
Nice rain.
You need to stay low and do not bunch up. Stick to your trainings, you're gonna make it through.
So normally,
I'm proud of you fellas.
I remember this on the one on the 360. You get hit by a shell or something. Yeah, D-Day. This is where my uncle was.
Flat, right? Don't scare, Private. No, sir. Should be.
Man, this is it looks really good actually. Well, that's not good. I probably should have played on regular versus hardened since I haven't played a Call of Duty game in a minute. Let's see here real quick. Put the head around real quick. Player. Let's try the new. The Mario, let's see here. Do you play the Mario and Luigi game? So for the Switch, I do play, actually I just played with my son last night, Super Mario Deluxe, which we love. Now my son loves Mario Builder 2. Oh man, I might bring that in next week. I kind of touched on it the first time I did the Switch. But Super Mario Maker is a lot of fun. There's a good campaign type mode, and then you get to play other people's stages. So it's quite a bit of fun. But I'm a huge, I love Mario and Luigi games. That's the one thing I can be appreciative of is that they've never put out a bad Mario game. That's pretty graphic with, oh, well, dude's missing a head, so there we go. All right, so most games like this, you got your left and right thumbstick. You move to your position. Circle is your duck button.
Take a Bangalore and get to the seawall. Daniel, this is what you trained for. Now pick up that banger.
Also, okay. So banger is what they use to break the trenches.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so we have where we're supposed to go. Now, if you push our thumbstick, you run. So we'll just keep running. Feel like I lost where I'm supposed to go. Oh, I died really quick there. That was like 2 headshots. Oh, I see. I think I got to go prone. Oh, man, I don't know where I'm going. I did it again. Ran right into it. Three to sprint. And then we'll just, all right. Let's, all right. Yeah. Well, if I keep dying here, we'll switch to a different mode or whatever. But it looks like you got to time your, no, duck. All right. Hopefully, oh, man. Well, that's not good. I have a lot of red there. I have no health. What? You are hurt. Get to cover. Oh, boy. Oh, man, I just got picked off. I'll try one more time, and if not, we'll switch to the actually, I wonder if you can change the difficulty on this. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's try to get at a lower difficulty. All right. Oh, yes, yeah, it's a lot easier. You don't get headshot every 2 seconds. All right. One of my favorite games that I ever played that's a first-person shooter, it's called, I think I've talked about it, called Ghost Recon. Let's see here. All right. That was pretty easy. Anyhow, Ghost Recon, like you don't fight or you don't have to buy your guns and stuff like that. You just have to complete really difficult tasks. Like you get different types of sniper rifles and stuff like that, or different weapons. Actually, when I went to Arizona, a couple of the guys I played with, that's how we met. We playing Ghost Recon. Well, that's helpful. Let's see here. Where to go now? So that's one thing that I don't like is when there's not a clear direction to go.
All right, here we go.
Oh, there we go. All right. So you have your, if you hold in your L button, you zoom in on your, it's pretty standard. You zoom in on your sights or whatever. Well, that's not good. The one thing I try to tell my son, and it's really hard to, I mean, I know it's a video game and stuff like that, but if you get, there's no health bars in war. If you get shot, it's not a good thing. So, oh man, what is that? Those are pretty good there. Actually, like I think after the beaches of Normandy is when or before the beaches of Normandy is when they started doing ranger training for the Army. I mean, they already had airborne. Like, and actually, when this was going on, when they were storming the beaches, airborne was actually being dropped behind the enemy lines, which is insane. All right. Oh, should have reloaded first. Oh, man, didn't see it, dude. All right, so I'm on to play for like another 2 minutes and try a different game mode and then answer some questions if you have any. Actually, when I was in the military, they actually they have before you start shooting a real M16 or any weapon, actually, you have oh man, I just ate it there. All right, so I'm gonna bounce out real quick, see if there's any questions. Oops. So thus far, I mean, the game seems to move pretty smoothly. Let's see here. Mom won't let me buy one. Here. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch is awesome. Listen, actually, so Mario Party is one of the games I play with my son a lot. And actually, we play it as a family. It's just like a giant board game with what do you call it? With mini games. And the mini game, there's actually added mini games in there too. And they actually made it kind of a campaign where you got to get like there's like 6 or 7 different modes, and if you complete all of the modes, you get like a gem, and then you get like a bonus mode. It's kind of Nintendo's theme. Like, all right, we'll try the Nazi zombie thing real quick, and then I'll try a different game real quick also. Crud. All right. So this game was restarted to apply a new update. Let's see if it worked. Go play. So some of the things I recommend before you buy a game is, first of all, you want to research it, but the issue you get when you research a game is you get a lot of people who are, basically being paid to say that the game is good. So what you can do is I would recommend that you don't fall into the hype of buying a game just because you hear a game is going to be really good. Let's see here. I don't know if we can play this with. I'll try it. I don't know if you can play a game with just. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't know if you. Yeah, I can't play this. It's crazy. Huh. All right. Well, I think I brought a couple different games, and I know that I talk a lot about Blizzard games or whatever. So, and I'm gonna pull up Overwatch just real briefly because I do want to show you guys something real quick because I talked about it last week and why I'm a big Blizzard fan. So keep in mind, like, I bought this game for I think $29 or $19.99 for Christmas a couple years ago, and I don't even know if I can pull it up. Well, I know I can pull up part of it. So actually, I'm going to let the beginning of this play too, the introduction or whatever, just because I don't think a lot of game companies put in the effort anymore, and Blizzard definitely has been for a very long time. Let's see here. As it's coming up, I thought it would play. All right. Anyhow, it might be my PlayStation. So let me see here real quick. Do I play sports games? Yeah, So here's my issue with sports games right now is that I need to play it. Like if I wanted to play online, like NBA 2K, I would have to pay like an extra $40 or $50 to even be able to compete because people will buy, the coins or the points or whatever. And it just, I mean, I understand grinding to get better or whatever the case may be, but this is definitely not the case here. All right, so the reason why I want to show you this real quick. So Overwatch has something every quarter, and so right now is their anniversary. So they have they come out with, and I know it sounds silly, they come out with new skins and stuff like that, which makes zero difference or whatever as far as that goes, as far as how good your character is or whatever. But what they do also is they come out with new characters. So when I first started, and I'll actually I'll show you all the new players. So Ash, Batiste, Brigitte, Doomfist, Echo, let's see here, Moira, Wrecking Ball, and Sigma. So they've come out with nine different new characters on this, and it's Overwatch is kind of like Street Fighter, where each character is different. It's not like Call of Duty where every character has the same skills or the same special moves or whatever. But one of the things I really admire about them is that so it's they're doing this anniversary thing. So they're putting out like different modes and stuff that you can do. So like Lucio Ball is something that they do for summer and spring or whatnot. And it's really cool. Like it's basically just like a soccer game. It's not really like a soccer game, but it's similar. So and then actually it's the first time I've seen it. They actually had game like 6 different game modes where they made it where if you killed somebody they would blow up and or you was really fragile and stuff like that. And the reason why you do it is you get loot boxes, and in the loot boxes you get different what do you call it? You get different skins and voice things and emotes and whatnot. And the other thing too is like, and I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but like you can watch live Overwatch leagues. One of my good friends plays for the Eternal for Paris, so I'm hoping that he'll hop on here soon. Actually, not today, but within the next couple weeks. But I mean, he plays a character like phenomenally. Like he's one of the top 3 in the world, so it's kind of cool to know him. So anyhow, let me come back over here and see if there's any questions. Sorry. Let's see here. Listen, rumors for Pokemon Diamond. So I do worry about remakes or whatnot, just because, like I bought Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and I think I told you guys I didn't like it as well because they changed the way the game is actually played. But I want to go ahead and show you guys. So the way that you used to play Overwatch is you would choose. You could be any character that you wanted, and then you would go from there. But now it's broken down to tanks and healers and DPS, and there's no bettering of the character. Like I can win thousands of games and it doesn't make my character better. Like it's not like Rainbow Six, I think is another one where you have to pay to play. And that just, man, it just bothers me. Like, and again, there's no expansion pack. Like this is the game you get. You pay $29.99. They update it for you. There's no extra nothing extra that you pay for. So in my opinion, man, that's a pretty solid game, especially now. Like if you want to play a game now, man, you are paying for an expansion. And I'll show you real quick. So I bought Red Dead Redemption, and back out real quick. So I bought Red Dead Redemption 2, which is an amazing game, and I mean it's right up there with Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. It's a beautiful game. I mean, it's one of the best games I've ever played. However, you know, the game itself is $60, and then you have to pay an extra. I mean, if you get the package, you pay an extra $40 to get everything with it. So you're paying $100 for a game that really isn't complete. So when this first came out, there was no online. Like they were still working on it. They're trying to get the servers right. So realistically, you spend $100 for a game that you was not even able to use, so, or to the fullest or whatever. And Rockstar is one of those games that is just amazing also. So, I mean, I put them up there with Blizzard or whatever. The graphics I don't think are ever as good, but you know, but again, you're spending 100 to 120 for a game. Let me see real quick. And that's all games anymore, and I don't understand that. Like if I go like let's see here. Usually there's a what's new type thing, what's hot, popular. So like Mike was talking about getting Doom. Well, like so Doom itself was $49.99. But for the actual expansion pack and everything, it was like, I think it was $120 or whatever. So, and the same thing, like, so for the digital edition of, let's see if I can show you real quick. For The Last of Us Part 2, which is, I mean, the first one was amazing. And this isn't so bad. It's $10 extra. But really all you're paying for is a digital mini art book and a PS4 dynamic theme. Like, it just seems like you're paying $10 for nothing. So anyhow, I losing track of time. So, and I apologize. It bothers me because, like, you know, I know I'm old, but like when I say we old people played games like the Atari and Nintendo and stuff, like, you know, we got a full game that was immaculate, and Nintendo doesn't. Actually, Nintendo is doing it. Nintendo is doing Luigi's Mansion and stuff like that, and Mario Kart. You had to pay for extra maps and stuff like that. But again, you can buy a game from Blizzard, except for, and the exception is World of Warcraft, because you pay every single month for it. But I mean, World of Warcraft is definitely worth it because, dear Lord, man, they put so much work into that game. Like there's an update every I think it's every 2 weeks now on Tuesday. But so I'm just going to do a short game of this real quick, and then it should be about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll back out, and then I'll answer any other questions or concerns. Hey, and listen, I love how you guys are talking to each other. So keep that up, because my opinion is just that. It's my opinion on games. So if I say I like a game, or I don't like a game, or I don't like pay to play or something like that, it's not saying that it's right. It's just saying it's what I prefer and don't prefer. So, and listen, I love talking video games. Actually, I was thinking with trying to get some D&D games going on here. Let's see here. Dale, do you play any sports games? Do I play Minecraft? I've never really got into Minecraft. Oops, sorry. Got to run out here real quick. Let's see what time it is. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to have time to play a game. So, actually, I'll back out real quick. So I got about 9 to 10 minutes, and I've been meaning to do a better job of talking or whatever the case may be. So, and I see a lot of people out there that, man, it's just really good to see all of you guys, to be honest. So, wake up, Allison. I see you now. All right. Listen, so I'm gonna. If you have a question on any of the games, or if you want to see a game played, will you let me know? Next week I planned it on Spyro, but I was curious if you guys would be interested in doing a like a Dungeons and Dragons type game. Anybody? You guys know what Dungeons and Dragons is, where you have and I probably won't do it on this, but there's Dungeons and Dragons in games like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, where you don't really have a dungeon masters. You're just, the game's already pre-made. All right. Well, Dale, I'm going to unmute you real quick. Hey, Dale.
What's up?
Nothing. What about, so do you play a lot of sports games?
I used to.
What do you normally play now?
Oh, I haven't had like a system in a while. I just haven't had a chance to buy a new one.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, is there any game that you would like to see played? Did you fall asleep on me?
No, I was thinking.
It's
I don't
all right.
know.
That's all right. If you think of one, let me know, all right? I'm just going to go down the list here and talk to a few people, all right? Good seeing you today, though. All right, let's see here. Jose? Is there any games that you would like to see played? Can you put it in the chat box at the bottom of the Zoom?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Hello. Sorry,
Hello.
my name is Jose.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. I appreciate you translating for me here.
I have those games at home. I have a PS4 that I use.
Do you play online at all?
You can download it for free sometimes at ECEL. Some websites. From World War II. There's some games from World War II, and they show the history of the war and everything, and it's really interesting. You can see how everything was in 1944 back then. It looks like that exact time, the ships, that they used for that war and everything, and the Nazis and all that history. I was really impressed watching that game. I really enjoyed it, and there was a lot of death, a lot of hurt. I was like, oh man, made me feel bad.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
I agree.
I got goosebumps playing it.
I get goosebumps when I see a good game too. So that's good. That's good. Is there a game that you would prefer to see?
Far Cry 3.
All right.
That one.
Okay.
Far Cry 4. I have that one, by the way. And Far Cry 5. I have them all.
Have you played Far Cry?
I love that one. I can play for a long time. And they kill an animal to be able to survive, and they have to sew their own clothes and everything to protect themselves from the weather, from the elements. It's really cool. Really awesome.
You play Far Cry Primal?
What was that? In crime mode?
Primal.
Primal. Okay.
Far Cry Primal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, next week I'm gonna bring Spyro, but I'll put Far Cry on this also. All right. Thank you. I'm gonna go down to the next one. All right. Thank you.
It's easy for me to play them. I'm so used to them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me see here. Man, I'm having a hard time unmuting people. Hey. Oh, there we go. Allison, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Tile.
Tired? Tired of what?
You with me.
How did I wake you up? All right, listen, is there any games that you'd like to see played?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, so next week I am going to do Spyro, and I'll bring in Far Cry. And if you guys see any games that you would like to see played, will you just let me know? And I'll
Yeah.
bring, oh, I see somebody has their hand. Give me a second. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute you and let's see here. Why is my? There we go. All right. Hey, TJ.
Can you play Minecraft sometime?
Minecraft. I don't have Minecraft, but I can get it. I don't think that'd be an issue. So,
It's a good game I played before.
is there any other games that you played that you liked?
I like Fortnite. I play Call of Duty. I play Spyro. I play Crash Bandicoot.
Are there any games that you have not played that you would like to see?
I never played whatever that beat that game you saw the forget the name is
Call of Duty or World War II?
World War II.
Okay. Well, if there's any games that you have not played that you'd like me to show you, I would be more than willing to do that.
Well, I play a lot of games, but not much.
I play, well, I don't have much time anymore, but I try to play video games when I can, because my boys love to play video games, so I try to play with them. Do you have a PlayStation 4, or what type of system do you have?
I have Nintendo Switch and a GameCube and a Wii and a 3DS.
Well, so I think I talked about it last week, but we just recently got Animal Crossing, and my wife and my kids love it. I can't really get into it, but I mean, have you played it yet?
No, I haven't played it yet.
It seems it's got really good reviews. The graphics are, Nintendo-esque, and overall, from what I've heard, it's a fun game to get into. It's just not my cup of tea. So, all right. Anybody else have any other questions or concerns? Anything they would like to talk about? Oh. Hi, Carla. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys' time and your input. And next week, like I said, I'll have Spyro and Far Cry. And if you see any games you want in the future, just let me know, okay? Oh, sorry. There you go.
Another great segment, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love seeing the new faces on here and then just the interaction inside of it. So, Jose, love having you on here, buddy. Thanks for joining us. And then Carla getting on here. That makes me really happy. So, both of you, thank you for joining us on PALS TV. I hope you enjoy it. Stick around for the next segment because it's going to hit close to home for definitely both of you. We're going to be live from Columbus with our very own Professor Phil, as he jumps into some science projects with us and has some fun in his own little science lab. So come back and join us here soon. Thanks again, Gary. It was a great segment.
Thanks, guys.